Hi there, this is Sandra at the Mortgage Center. I love sharing information about real estate and housing, and I just wanted to update you on what we're seeing coming through our office and some tips for you if your mortgage is coming up for renewal in the next year. A couple of trends that we're seeing in our office that should interest you is that we've had many people call who have first, second, and even third mortgages. And this is a very unusual predicament and a very challenging predicament that some borrowers find themselves at. And what we're actually finding is that in some cases, the borrowers have already used up the equity in their houses. Again, if you find yourself in a situation where you've run into some debt, I wanted to remind you that you can refinance up to 80% of the value of your house. However, if you're coming to our office and maybe this is one thing that you want to think about, and if you've already refinanced up to 80% of the value of your property, there is not enough equity to refinance again, and you want to think about selling your house. So that's what we're finding in our office. Now, these are few and far between. I'd say that's less than 2% of the calls that we get. But again, if you're in that situation and you need a contact, you need us to connect you with a realtor, we're happy to do that. But let's just say if you do have equity in your house and you've been declined by your financial institution or you've been declined by your bank, please contact us because we would probably be able to help you sort of get back on track. And remember, the rule of thumb is you can refinance a property up to 80% of the value. Now, I do have some clients who are thinking about selling their house and have a variable rate mortgage. And I wanted just to remind you too that variable rate mortgages aren't portable. So typically what we would do is we would lock in the interest rate and then port that mortgage. But in some cases, for example, your lock-in rate might be 6 or 6.5%. And right now, we are getting interest rates at about 5 to 5.5% if your property is under 1 million. Okay, and you're looking for a 25-year amortization. This is something I've seen come up where we often get clients from Scotia or RBC or Bank Montreal, and they're calling us because they want a second opinion on things. So if you or your friend have a situation like that, please give us a call because we can kind of walk you through that. The other challenging thing that we're finding is that for those people who are wanting to buy a house, there is not enough supply. So we're seeing sort of increase in home prices. One of the things that I've just recently read from Royal LePage is that in this area, they're suspecting that home prices will increase this year over last year by over 8%. Right? So home prices are increasing. However, and the reason for that is there's not enough listings on the market for the demand, right? So it's a very challenging time to be buying a house. If you need to sell your house, now is a great time to sell, right? And those people who are contacting us whose mortgages are coming up for renewal, it's never too early. Okay, so if your mortgage is coming up for renewal in the next 6 months, and even if you're not a customer of ours, if you're working with RBC or Bank of Montreal or CIBC, please contact us early because we can hold that interest rate and then reconnect when your mortgage comes up for renewal closer to the date. So what I'm suggesting is please be sure to contact us early in the renewal process. We love helping people. If you need to get a hold of me, you can just contact one of the links below, and you can always schedule an appointment with me. I'm happy to help. We're meeting clients online and over the telephone, and I'm looking forward to connecting. Have a great day. Thanks for all your support and your ear.